For 7 weeks, we've been talking about the security and welfare of those who are under our own government. Isn't that a bit short-sighted? It's a big world out there. So what about global welfare? Suppose you buy yourself a little flat in a newly renovated apartment building. Trouble follows. Non-residents vandalize the place. Nobody calls the plumber when the sewage backs up in the building basement. The exterior paint is peeling. So all the residents get together and decide to form a government, call it a homeowners association. Everybody puts money in the pot every month, and a couple of residents are authorized to spend that money in order to improve conditions. So far, so good. But after a couple of years, somebody stands up at the monthly meeting and gives a speech. Why are we being so selfish and worrying only about our own safety and our own plumbing and our own paint job? We need to do something to help everybody else who has the same problems. Well, there's an altruist in the group who jumps up and says, I agree, we're all human beings, so we must rise above these selfish feelings and care about others. There's an economist in the group who objects, oh, sit down. You obviously don't even understand what a homeowners association is. I'm paying a fee for my own benefit. Let the residents of the other buildings pay their own fees if they want similar benefits. There's a pragmatist who adds, but some of those intruders are coming over here because their services are so much worse. Maybe it will actually benefit us if we help them improve their services too. Luckily, there's a philosopher in the group who says, you all have a point. Let's vote on what our group will do as a whole. And if any of you in the meantime wants to act charitably on your own to the non-residents, you should just go right ahead and help them. So let's start with the altruist. For political purposes, this is the cosmopolitan, the one who says, I am first of all a citizen of the world. The cosmos is my real polity. So I owe just as much to every human being as I owe to my fellow citizens. The economist, however, again speaking politically, adds some nuance to this. Well, of course you have moral obligations to every human being, but your obligations are not the same for everyone. We have extra obligations to certain people. If you sign a contract to pay me back a loan, then you owe me money that you don't owe anybody else. Well, the government has, the economist says, a kind of social contract to provide for my security and welfare in exchange for my taxes. And so it owes me things that it does not owe to citizens of other countries. The pragmatist can add a nifty political insight, however. Our government should be generous to other countries, not because of what the government owes them, but because of what it owes me. Strategic global assistance can mean not only that others have less need to immigrate here, but also that their countries have less motivation to attack us. And to this, I add, everybody scores. To live as a member of humankind is to live with a sense of respect for the life and happiness of each human. Cosmopolitanism, then, is a powerful force for individual moral action. And if we decided to empower our government to reflect that in its policies, then local democracy and cosmopolitanism have converged. It serves as an example of what we talked about in week 1, about how sometimes political and moral philosophy overlap. But even if we do not, there is nevertheless the straightforwardly pragmatic argument that our country's global behavior has a bearing on local security and welfare. There's one option, of course, that nobody at the monthly meeting brought up. Imagine, what if we got everybody together on the plan? I mean everybody. Then there would be no such thing as resident and non-resident. Then the state of nature and the veil of ignorance experiments could be applied to a single government of the cosmos at once, not just to the local government. You could say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one, but this is the world we were born into. For the foreseeable future, we'll only be able to imagine that all the people are living a life in peace. Still, as far away as it may be, there is no bigger or better idea than global security and welfare.